Everyone who's new here, and of course those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of SUI, AVAX, HBAR and Dogecoin. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So let's just start with SUI. We have said about SUI, once the green trend line breaks to the upside, then we should get into the $3.39, and from there I expected actually a pullback into the fair value gap, which is also then the retest, and from there push to the upside. This didn't happen. We went instantly for a breakout, retest, follow through. We still have the fair value gap lower than us, and I think this is kind of, I don't want to say dangerous, but we can still expect another low. So since we don't have any kind of possible long trades, I would look for the RSI. The RSI went here in an overbought stage. With this correction to the upside, we got the RSI up. So what I would look for is a bullish divergence in the RSI. And this can mean, let me take out the price mark, move it to the right side. This can mean that SUI is going to get a new low, lower than this one, while the RSI is having an higher high. Then we would fill the fair value gap, and from here we have to track a nice trend line, which breaks to the upside, and then I would be in for a long trade. And if the RSI trend line also breaks to the upside, which is currently the 53.6, but over the time we are going to move it to the downside. If we break this trend line to the upside, then I think that we can get some positive momentum into the $3.65, or even maximum target $3.75 to $3.85. I think that we are going to get there with a high chance. But yeah, starting from $3.65, I'm going to take some profits if I enter a long trade. So like I said, I would wait for the second retest. Second retest can get down to $3.21.7. Then I want to see a bullish divergence. And then I have to see if we get some kind of an, let me take this one out. It's just to visualize you that. So if we push to the downside and we get some kind of a double bottom pattern, which we then break to the upside, then I would be in for a long trade. And then I think we can push to the upside. So similar is AVAX. We have said about AVAX, if the $21 breaks to the upside, then we should get into the purple box. Yeah, we did it twice. We got the rejected twice. Here once and here a second time. We broke it to the upside, and we have also said if we break it to the upside, then we should see the $22.50. If we break the $22.50 also to the upside, then we should push to $25 to $25.50. So I can take this here, just like that, and you can see that we got our push to the upside, our retest of the purple box, and afterwards we went into $22.50. We didn't break the $22.50 to the upside yet. And it's similar to SUI. I think that we are going to get a higher high in the RSI, which is a bullish divergence. So if we push to the downside, and I think we can push to the downside even down to $20.50, then we would also fill a fair value gap. And we get a higher low in the RSI, and I afterwards see a breakout, then AVAX is going to be long for me, at least into the fair value gap, $22 to $22.30. There is my first take profit. So this fair value gap here. And afterwards, the $25 is possible. So if I take this trend line, then I will also make it green. So my first take profit is the first fair value gap. if we break the green trend line to the upside, which is currently at the price mark of $22.60, but this price is going to move to the upside over the time, then I would increase my position size for this nice push into the $25. If we break the $20 to the downside, and I would even include the horizontal support at $19.86. So let me take this one at white and this one in red. Then I would say we have something different coming. Then I don't see a bullish divergence and a bullish push incoming. I think we can afterwards reach for lower prices for AVAX, and this push to the upside ended most likely, and from here we might even just get a bounce and afterwards push even more to the downside. But still, it's not far away, but I still think that we are bullish at the moment for AVAX. We also have here an RSI trend line, so if it also breaks to the upside, which is the 50, RSI at 50, then I would even say we have a good chance for another push to the upside. So what about HBAR? Similar to the other coins, I think that we can reach for prices down to 16.36 cents. Here we are going to form a higher high in the RSI, in my opinion. So if the RSI pushes to the downside and the price is going to push to 16.3 cents, and we are going to push to the upside like this, and we can track some kind of a breakout, then I would be in for a long position. And I think 18 cents is realistic to get, or we even push more into 20 cents for HBAR. There is also a fair value gap. So for HBAR, we already have a nice trend line, which we can use if this trend line is still going to be valid. So let me take out what I have drew you here, and I will do it now in more detail. So if we push to the downside and we get support here, this support doesn't mean that we should get a pump to the upside. The support should mean that we see some kind of a bounce. Afterwards we break to the downside to 16.36 cents. From here we get a bounce, getting rejected here again, get a higher low to this one, breakout, retest, then it's long for me. So if I get this kind of setup, and it looks very detailed, but I think the chances are good that this exactly can even happen. Because if we play with support and resistance, if the white trend line is going to be support, I will tell you the price mark. Currently this 16.55 cents. That would look for a small bounce to the upside. Afterwards, if we break it to the downside, then we should see good support at 16.3 cents, but the 16.55 cents is resistance. And if we get there a pullback, and I see it, that the 16.55 is going to be resistance, and we break it to the upside, then it's very positive, and then I think we can go for the fair value gaps over us, which reaches prices up to 17.46 cents. Here's the price mark. First take profit, second take profit 18 cents, and if the 18 cents breaks to the upside, then I would increase my position size for the push into 20 cents. If we lose the 16.36 cents to the downside, then I think we can even drop down to 15.4 cents because we still have the target ongoing from a bearish pennant in dark blue. And we didn't invalidate that pattern yet. So we can still drop to 15.4 cents. And this is going to happen, in my opinion, with a very high chance once we break the 16.36 cents to the downside. A bit different looks Dogecoin, because if you have looked closely into the RSI, then you can see that the other coins were somewhere here and did their push somewhere here. Dogecoin, it has a bullish divergence at the moment. We have here our low. We have now lower prices, but the RSI is having currently a higher low. But we have to hold it. Since Dogecoin didn't do the same kind of push into the RSI, for example like this, and is coming back now, it might be possible that Dogecoin is even going again for the oversold area, which would get the price down even more. Afterwards we get the push to the upside, which would be the push in the RSI, and then we can even sell off again and have here our bullish divergence, which we are looking for. So I would look also in the other coins. If the other coins are going to have breakouts to the upside, then it might be even possible that if Dogecoin doesn't have this setup, that Dogecoin is going to be a bit weaker than the other coins. But as you can see, if we get a nice breakout, then the 20 cents are going to be the target again. Yeah, we broke here the bull flag to the upside. Target was the 20 cents. We went there. And I think we can go there again because we have a fair value gap. If we are more bullish, then we have here a green trend line, which is also going within a fair value gap, which is the area between 21 cents to 21.4 cents. I think this is going to be realistic as well. But we have to get more structure. So far we don't have bullish patterns which can break to the upside. That's why I can just go with the RSI. So I would wait a bit longer, like for example 1 or 2 hours for Dogecoin. If this is going to hold like this, then this is a bullish divergence. But we also need to see a breakout. And the first sign of a breakout is going to be if we break the 18.9 cents to the upside. So Dogecoin is still far away from the 17.5 cents. So we can also drop there, but I think once we break this to the downside, and then Dogecoin is bearish to me, and we can even look for far lower prices for Dogecoin. But as you can see, it is still far away. It might be even possible that this trend line is wrong, because if we look into the other coins, then you can see the red trend line, which I have put you here on the chart, is far more closer to the actual price of the coin at the moment. No, even not. Still far away. So basically, let's look into the other coins. Yeah, we still have space to the downside without getting bearish. My bad. I was thinking that we are closer to the red trend lines for the other coins, but I think just HBAR is near to a red trend line. Anyway, I think we have good chances pushing to the upside. But I want to see some chart structure, which I don't have at the moment. Like for example, here a double bottom pattern, which we then break to the upside. Then I can be long and can get a tasty trade, in my opinion. So, thank you for watching, and we see each other in the next update where we talk about Render, Tau, Kaspa and ONDO. See you then.